Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to episode 36 of All the Gear But No Idea. Joined here with co-host Rhodey. How you going?
Diz, I am not too bad, mate. How are you?
Yes, I'm very good. Ooh, the nice.
Jeez, that's bloody whatever out that beer.
Beautiful. Great to sit down with you again and talk some fishing this week, mate. How's your week been?
Yeah, mate, not too bad. Obviously, disappointing not to get away last weekend, as we talked about.
Yes.
But got a bit done around the house over the weekend, a bit of gardening.
Yes, always good.
It wasn't an action-packed weekend.
Yeah, and we're very lucky to be joined in amongst his extremely busy schedule of cooking bacon and mowing the lawns. Member for Narunga, Fraser Ellis. It'll be great to have a chat with him later.
Yes, always good to chat with Fraser.
Yes.
He's not the best fisherman in the world.
No,
but he's got a lot of say on the York Peninsula, so he's getting more and more of an interest in it.
Yes, that's fair to say. But look, Rhodey, we won't dwell on that too much because we've got a bit to get through before we chat with Fraser. Let's get into the oranges and lemons. What's been the highlight of the fortnight gone?
Look, we went out last week, Diz. We went out to Sherrick.
Yes,
on York Peninsula.
And
Port Julia, nipped down to Sherrick, got a few whiting. We'll touch on later on about the results.
Yes, we will.
But we both made a purchase over the couple of weeks before then of waders.
Yes.
And my God, I was warm.
Yeah, oh, how good.
Putting the boat in, staying dry, nothing quite like it. I reckon the waders were my orange for the week, Diz.
Yeah, fair enough too, mate.
What about you?
An absolute highlight. And look, my orange is going to be the arrival of the jumpers.
Yes, good one.
And they have been a hit, but certainly as they've been distributed across the state and interstate to our friends in New South Wales, unfortunately stuck in a COVID lockdown, but we've sparked a bit more interest, right?
Yes, we have. We're going to do another order, but we'll touch on that again in a minute.
Yes, we will.
But feedback has been very positive.
It has. The crews, the hoodies, they've been... I haven't heard anybody complain about being cold.
No, they've been really good. So that's a great orange, Diz.
Yes.
What about your lemon?
So, yeah, let me roll that straight over into the lemon. We did touch on the fact that some of our interstate friends wearing those hoodies were in the grip of a COVID lockdown, and it's quite selfish, to be honest with you, that New South Wales have gone into a COVID lockdown. Extremely devastating for a number of people, but we are one of those because it cancelled our pigging event.
Yes.
And our yearly pilgrimage across to Ross's place.
Yes, the pigs are happy.
Oh, pigs are very happy.
They've won big out of this COVID.
They have won hugely out of this COVID. And, look, Ross has kept himself busy, I'm sure, but we've missed out on a great weekend, unfortunately.
Well, I think Ross said he's quite happy because none of his workers can go anywhere else. All they can do is work.
Fair enough.
So he's not bothered at all.
Busy.
Yeah, obviously an essential service, goat farming, so he can work as normal and none of his workers got any excuse to go down the pub or slack off.
Yeah, true. All right, Roddy, what's your lemon been, mate?
All right, well, my car spent a long time getting fixed.
Oh.
I've got it back, but it's not going to be around for much longer.
Oh, putting it on the market.
Putting it on the market, the time is right. And you are doing quite similarly at the moment. You're going to sell your car.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just a bit nervous there's going to be a bit of a grey area in the middle where we both sell our cars, are both driving non-full drive boat towing vehicles for a short period.
Yeah.
And I'm worried we're going to be unable to tow the boat.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to have to...
We're going to have to work out a timeline here.
We're going to have to time that well.
Because, we don't want to be stuck without a car to tow this boat of ours.
No, absolutely not. And if anything of late is to go by, we certainly don't have too many people who are chomping at the bit, so to speak, to come fishing with us.
Well, That's going to be a real caveat on inviting people fishing, isn't it?
Do
you want to come out fishing? What car do you drive?
Oh dear, good fun. All right, Rhodey, that's good oranges and lemons there. Let's roll straight into the merch. Give the listeners an update, Rhodey.
Yes, so the jumpers were great, as we said, and we have, once the photos have been sort of speculating, floating around, people have been talking them up, we've had a few other requests to get on board on the jumpers. So we are going to do another run of jumpers. Yep. For a very short period, about a week or so, we'll open that up for, and then we'll place one more order before the end of winter. So if you want one, please get in contact with us ASAP.
Yes.
Both grey and navy, hoodies and crews. Get in contact if you would like one. $60 for the hoodies, $50 for the crews.
Yeah.
And they're great, Diz. They are great. So I would recommend everyone gets involved.
Yeah.
And hit us up ASAP.
Yeah, and look, a colleague at work is going to purchase one.
Yep.
And they are purchasing it for a family member who is a case of all the gear but no idea, but in a different department.
Oh, okay. Not
fishing.
What are they into?
I think they're just all the gear but no idea in general life what they've suggested.
Yeah.
So it does cross some barriers.
It does.
So it's very multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
And we like that about the jumpers.
We do. And also, while we're on the jumpers, a bit of a shout out to Andrew at Estuary Clothing Co. for looking after us.
Yes.
Been very easy to deal with and got them done, no dramas.
Yeah. No,
and they're great. They're good quality too.
Yeah, they are. All right, Rhodey, let's roll over into the news because we've got a bit to get through here, and I might start with the first one. The Southeast Snapper season has now, or will be...
No, it has
opened 1st of July, and it will go through to the 31st of October or until the catch has been caught, the allocated catch. And it's a number of 649. Right?
Yes, it is, Diz, because remember, an excess of 213 snapper were caught during the first window, so that's been taken off this second window.
Yes.
And I think that was largely because, remember, they kept it open for that long weekend?
They did. They
bumped it. Yeah, so that was probably good of them to let people fish the long weekend.
Yeah,
but it's impacted on the total limit this time.
Yes,
and the bag limit remains at 1 snapper per angler with a boat limit of 3.
Yes, so I suppose probably July, August. I guess September and October you start getting some better weather, but
I don't reckon it's going to make it that far.
Nah,
that 649 will be caught over the next couple of months, I reckon.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll make it to the second half of that period.
No, but I suppose the only thing is that winter weather, maybe a few less opportunities for
possibly
some recos to get out. But
and obviously that's just in the southeast of the state as well, remember that too. So there's only a limited area you can actually fish for these snapper anyway.
Yeah.
And as we said in a couple of previous episodes, you do need to have a release weight on board.
Yes.
To release any undersized or unintentionally caught snapper. That is wherever you're fishing in the state.
Yes.
And
you must report your catch.
You do.
Either via the app or calling the 24-hour Fish Watch hotline, 1-800-065-522.
And Dave from Savage Tackle.
Yes.
He's the man for those release weights.
Yeah, get onto him with the release rates.
All right, Diz. Good one there.
Yeah, fantastic, Rhodey. There's also been some commercial fishing reforms.
Yes, so the fishing reforms that we've talked about a number of times on this podcast, remember they were sort of reallocating the total catch.
Yes.
That has come into play as of July 1.
Yes.
So that is a $24.5 million reform to the marine scale fish fishery.
Yes.
So the changes include the establishment of 4 fishing zones across the state and a development of a quota system for priority species, including snapper, King George whiting, southern garfish, and southern calamari. And they've also said they cut a lot of the red tape out.
Yes, they have. And I'm sure if you cast your mind back, the concern initially was people who have had their license for a limited amount of time because it was based on catch amounts over a period of time over the last couple of years, I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
Right?
Yeah.
So I guess it will remains to be seen about those newer to the industry, I suppose, whether they can make a living. And we certainly hope that that's a fair reform and that everybody does well across the board.
Yes, we've just got to got to see how this plays out, I think, a little bit, don't we?
Yeah.
So I think no one quite knows, how this is going to go.
Yes.
But I think, it is fair to say there's some apprehension.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're not going to make too many massive, statements right now.
No.
But we'll be keeping a very close eye on it.
We will. Absolutely. All right, Rody, let's move on to another little story which has been across Facebook and the news. A huge amount of bait fish dead, washed up at Tumby Bay on the beach.
Yeah.
Very interesting report. Looked to me like a large number of herring.
Yeah,
possibly in amongst some others. I don't know, haven't been there. But there's been a massive amount of thoughts and theories that have been circulating across Facebook. But a very interesting story nonetheless.
And have you kept a close eye on these theories? What's the sort of leading ones?
Well, naturally, there was some people who came out and said, well, it's climate change.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's the water heating.
Yeah.
A lot of people were also talking about the seismic oil testing.
Okay, yeah.
Off the bite.
Yeah.
Rody.
Yeah.
Some people were even suggesting that 5G may have contributed.
Oh, Jesus.
to fish.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not
you
sure.
You on the 5G theories?
I've had the vaccine. Let's just say that.
But, look, there's been a massive amount of theories, and I'm not sure that... I think I'm just going to leave this one up to the professionals. I imagine there's probably been some samples taken by Perza.
I think, Sardi potentially could have been involved in that.
Sardi, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously very close to the fishing mecca of Port Lincoln. I'm sure they got across to check it all out.
Yeah, you wouldn't want any sort of disease going through there with all the tuna farms, would you?
No, you definitely wouldn't. And they're gonna get onto that, I'm sure. But we'll watch this space. That might be a little bit of an update on the next one. We'll have less theories relating to 5G and maybe some more sensible ones.
Yep.
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 Good call. All right, Rody, moving on. What's next in the news?
So this is something that's going on. So I was just reading this about the Marine Scale Fish Fishery Management Advisory Committee.
Yes.
How many times can you say that fast, Diz?
That's a tongue twister. I'm going to leave
give it a whirl. Give it a quick whirl.
Sorry? You give it a quick whirl.
I just said it, mate. I nailed it.
Yeah, you got it in front of you.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway. So this is being set up by the government.
Yes.
And it is talking about setting up the a committee to help manage the marine scale fish, so the fishing across the state.
Mm-hmm.
There's over 60 permitted species included.
Yep.
And they're looking for expressions of interest for people that want to be on this particular committee. Mm. The close date for that is 9 a.m. Monday the 2nd.
Okay.
And they're going to sit on it's a advisory committee that's going to sit across fishing across all sectors. Mm-hmm. So it's going to include a number of different 3 paid positions. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be an independent chair, an independent economist, and an independent fisheries scientist. So they're the non-sector positions. They're supposed to be independent. Then there is going to be some sector positions representing the different parts of the fishery. Mm-hmm. So there's an Aboriginal traditional fishing sector member.
Yes.
Someone from the charter boat fishery. A commercial marine scale fish fishery. Actually, that's 2 positions.
Yep.
There's going to be someone representing conservation.
Okay.
Someone representing the rock lobster industry. And there's going to be, I think, 2 positions nominated from the MARFAC.
Okay.
So that is, and then 2 government officials will be appointed to the committee. So 1 from PIRSA and 1 from Sardi.
Okay, interesting.
So that is going to be very interesting.
Group.
And, I don't know too much about it. It's obviously early days at this stage. I know there was from the rec crew, a few questions. Are we getting undersold on this panel? There's a lot representing other areas and only 2 from the recos. When potentially there's a lot of research, a lot of professional input on this. Mm-hmm. Maybe not much from the recos, but I suppose if those 2 that are appointed from the MARFAC represent the wider MARFAC, maybe then they justify it that way.
Yes. Yeah, probably.
But that'll be another interesting one to see how that plays out. It'll be interesting, particularly, I think, who becomes the independent chair of that.
Yes. Yeah, it will be.
So I got no idea who it'll be. But they're going to have to tread pretty carefully, I reckon, because there's a lot of differing opinions on that, isn't there?
Yeah, well, I think, that'll definitely be an important role.
So, yeah, good to see, good to see they're doing something to try and get all these different parties on the same page. But I think good luck to them. It's going to be a pretty hard job.
Yeah, I think it will be.
So
I think you're right, mate.
We will see how they go.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that, mate. And what's happening next in the news? I'm seeing a bit of PERSA consultation.
Hold on, where you go? Oh, the Port Vic. Yeah, you've missed one topic there, but we'll go back to it. That's all right. I can be adjustable. So PERSA are after feedback on 2 applications received from Sustainable Seafoods Proprietary Limited. So these particular applications propose farming of red algae and Pacific oysters. And I think the area is just northwest of Port Victoria on Port Vincent.
Yes.
And I think it's around Point Pearce, I think. Is that right, Tiz?
Yes, I believe it is.
Yep. So they're after feedback. You submit your feedback by email or post up until the 27th of July 2021. There's been an assessment done, and it's talked about up to 36 different risk events have been assessed.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
And, you can have a jump on the PERSA website, have a read of that, and you are more than welcome, and we'd encourage you even to chip in what you say of it is.
Absolutely.
And that was that red algae farming we were talking about a while ago, Diz, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That was a big news story.
So
huge.
Yeah. All right, Diz, what have we go back to what you just missed?
Well, you want to talk about the Snapper Mac?
Yes, we will.
Okay. What's happened there, mate? The Snapper Mac has been dissolved July 1st.
So the Snapper Advisory Committee is gone.
Gonski.
Yes. So that is interesting, Diz.
Well, I think they're sort of suggesting that it's going to be bundled up in the MSFR Mac.
Can you...
Is that right?
Yeah.
Marine Scale Fishery Reform Management Advisory Committee.
Look, you said that probably better than I could have in the end. So I know Graham Keegan was involved in that.
Yes, he was.
So it'll be interesting to see what he's got to say about all that.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll reach out to him and have a yarn.
So that's another... It's hard to know. It's hard to know what to make of it all, really, isn't it? You're a bit sceptical?
No, yeah, I mean, always I suppose you need to be... You want to know the ins and outs of these things, mate?
It's just sort of... Has it come out of the blue? I don't think we heard much in the lead up to this, did we?
No, I don't think we did.
So I suppose
I guess you don't want too many committees.
And that's fair.
Do you?
As long as the...
I mean, I'm not saying we want to get rid of them. I'm just saying if you have too many committees, there's
just going to be
too many opinions, not enough happenings.
But then we just need to make sure that the new committee really does represent what the recos want and the snapper industry in particular.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think particularly given how fresh off the press this is, Rhodey, it's a bit of a watch this space and let's see what they get up to. Yeah,
now Diz, keep moving. This is down your way. Did you nip down after work and look at the whales?
I did go down and have a look, Rhodey. Lots of sightings of whales off of Christie's Beach and a bit further down towards Carrickalinga, but they've spent some time along that part of the coast there, and it's been a real draw card for those who are interested in...
Are we talking southern right whales? Is that what I heard?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm no whale expert.
Yes.
But I thought that's what I saw.
No, and interestingly enough, there was a kite surfer. Yes. I believe that got in a bit of strife, the authorities, because they were intentionally approaching the whales. You are not allowed to intentionally approach the whales, and that is for the safety of them and yourself. So a little reminder to everybody out there, particularly when the whales get close to the shore at this time of year, not to approach them. If you're out on your boat and they approach you, that's a different story. But you cannot go intentionally close to the whales. But there's been some young ones in close.
Some calves, I think they're called, Diz.
Has been positive in the shallows.
I don't know how much TV you've been watching, Diz, but a bit of a follow-up from our story from our last news segment. I think 60 Minutes might have stole our thunder.
Did they?
They've got an interview with that fella that got eaten.
Oh, no.
That American bloke.
You're kidding me.
They got an interview with him. I thought we were going to get him first.
We covered the story first.
We broke it.
It's probably... That goes against everything I know about journalism.
So anyway, tune into, I think it was 60 Minutes.
Shame
it was one
on
of those
you,
shows.
60 Minutes. Shame on you.
All right, Diz, keep moving.
Rhodey, we've talked about this as the sort of limestone and oyster reefs have been developed across the Metro Coast.
Yes.
Glenelg, and prior to that was down there.
Windara?
Yeah, Windara Reef down off
near Ardrossan.
Rogues Point.
Rogues Point, yeah.
And very good news that there are going to be some small-scale oyster reefs to be constructed off the waters of Kangaroo Island.
Yeah, so the KI Landscape Board
are
involved in this, and they're hoping to improve access for recreational fishermen.
I think Pengilly's would have been across this.
Yeah, this has got his name all over it. So they want to create some more habitat for whiting calamari and to restore what was a dominant and highly productive ecosystem in the area back in the day.
You know what I like about this is proactive. That's a fantastic, untouched, pristine environment over there on KI. And I really respect the fact that we're getting on the front foot here and trying to maintain and redevelop ecosystems for wonderful parts of our state.
So they're going to make 20 small 10 by 10 metre reefs, 10 close to Kingscote and 10 close to American River. They're going to be built in shallow water between 3 and 5 metres of depth. And the idea of that is to make them accessible for fishers in small watercraft. Which is great.
It is.
And they're going to be built alongside patches of natural reef, seagrass and habitats so that there's hopefully already fish in the area. They're going to build it with a limestone rubble base to create the footprint. And they're going to... This is an interesting way of sort of describing it. So they're going to be rocks of 100 to 400 millimetres. So they're not big rocks, are they?
No.
And that's going to create alternating high and low points.
So no, that'll be good, Rhodey. And we look forward to seeing the development in this space. And in fact, I'd suggest that it won't be too long after they're built. They'll obviously be closed to allow the development of those oyster reefs to occur naturally. But given our adventures across to KI, I'll look forward to seeing one of these.
I'm going to catch some tings on one of these reefs. So they're also obviously putting heaps of spat. And interesting, this next bit, they've talked about how they're going to use discarded scallop, oyster and razorfish shells as these provide an ideal surface for the oysters to attach.
Well, they won't have any problem there at American River because KI shellfish, a fantastic spot to get your local oysters over there and have a feed of them, I'm sure might be happy to donate.
Yes, that's another good one, Diz.
Yes, excellent. Right, Rhodey, this is an interesting story. I didn't think that you'd carry a saucepan regularly on your boat. We've got a bailing bucket naturally, as per the law.
Look, Anthony Watson.
This is
he thought differently, Diz.
This is initiative.
So he got himself into a bit of trouble. So the water police received a distress call about 2:40 a.m. A couple of days ago, in the last couple of weeks. And he was on a yacht approximately 200 metres out from the Semaphore Surf Lifesaving Club when he ran aground on a sandbar, did some damage to the boat, and it started filling up. So what did he do? He grabbed his saucepan and just started bailing.
What was he cooking? Do you reckon he was pulling a Fraser and he cooked just a bit of bacon and eggs for his...
Look, I don't know, mate. What do you cook at 2:40 a.m? Why you got the saucepan out?
Good on him though. Fast thinking. Shame that he got into the pickle there, but we like fast thinking and safety. Absolute paramount, and he got away safely. And
Water Operations Police were able to come and help him when he was keeping the boat afloat with that particular saucepan. And they were able to tow the boat back to the North Haven Marina.
Fantastic.
And most importantly, he was uninjured and all good.
That is. All right, Rody, this next one will wrap up our news segment this week.
It's been an action-packed news segment.
It has, and
We've saved the best for last.
I think we have. Talk us through these trout that have been getting into a bit of a pickle with the meth.
So this is coming from a behavioural ecologist from the Czech University of Life Sciences in Prague. The fella's name, I think it's a male, not positive, Pavel Horky.
Yes, don't know whether Pavel's a male or a female. So
Anyway, Pavel is setting out to investigate whether illicit drugs alter fish behaviour at levels found in body of water.
Wow.
So this is interesting how they research on this, Diz. His team has put 40 brown trout in a tank of water.
Yes.
And they have tried to simulate the level of methamphetamine that has been found in particular freshwater rivers in the area. So they're saying particular rivers in particular areas have a lot of meth in them.
Okay.
I assume, does that get in there through the sewage?
I imagine it would be. They often do wastewater testing. They have been doing that for COVID, but
So
they
what-
also do that on...
Yeah, about the drugs, don't they? So what they're going to do is they're going to leave them in there for 8 weeks and then transfer them to a clean tank.
Yes, okay.
And they're going to talk about then whether there is... This is amazing. They're going to then check whether the trout are suffering from meth withdrawals by giving them a choice between water containing the drug with or without the drug in it.
Okay.
They're going to do another 40 trout as a control group.
That's unbelievable.
So I want to know how they're going to give them the choice.
Yeah, I do too. They can't... Yeah.
You know, it's water. Like, if you put meth down one end and not down the other, it's going to mix in.
Yeah. Maybe they see whether they like eating in the meth-affected water or the non-meth.
It could be a bit of a behavioural study.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's very interesting, Diz.
It is very interesting, and maybe we'll watch this space and see what the results are.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, Diz, and we'll keep you on top of the meth-affected brown trout here at All the Gear, but no idea.
Absolutely, we will. The big news stories always covered, but none bigger, Rhodey, than our guest, Fraser Ellis, as we mentioned, member for Narunga. Let's get him on the line. All right, Rhodey, very lucky to be joined this week by... probably wouldn't call him a good friend of ours, but a friend of ours and a sweep specialist, but more importantly, the esteemed member for Narunga, Fraser Ellis. Great to have you on the show.
Fellas, thank you for having me.
Always good to catch up and talk fishing with you, Fraser.
One of our great passions, one of our shared passions. I can't wait to chew the fat.
It is. All right, let's get into the 5 questions, Diz.
Yeah, Fraser, I think, well, we certainly do, but we look forward to hearing about this. Tell us about your best fish.
Best fish, only fish, both one and the same. Pulled in a sort of, you were there, huge is probably the right word. Huge sweep, down south off Lincoln somewhere. I don't know much more, that's about it. You blokes were both throwing your guts up seasick, but...
It certainly was a sizable sweep, and probably the best part of that is that you've started sending out certificates to anyone else that can produce a picture of a sweep.
Yeah, and haven't sent out many. They're that rare. As far as I know, only one caught ever. So.
We might have to share that one on the socials, Diz. That certificate phrase sent through to you.
Yeah, no, I'll just I'll pull it down off the mantelpiece and scan it through there.
That was good. Good trip.
Fraser, what's your favourite thing about fishing, mate? Is it just spending a bit of time away from work with the boys and girls if you're out in the boat, or what is it?
I like a full esky. Get out and have a few frothies and chew the fat, and when that runs out, my enthusiasm for fishing runs out at the same time. So probably a full esky.
No, fair answer. We're certainly getting the vibe you're not the world's greatest fisherman, but we'll keep running with this anyway, Fraser.
I used to be right into it. I was sort of building up a bit of passion for it. Went out with you blokes 3 times in a row, didn't catch a thing. That sort of ruined it for me.
So can you tell me about your first fishing memory? Did you get down to Port Hughes as a young tacker on the jetty or anything like that?
Yeah, I can remember going down to Port Hughes jetty when we were growing up and sitting out there watching everyone else pull in fish while we were sort of wondering what the hell we were doing wrong. But yeah, fishing off Port Hughes jetty when we were growing up. And the old man's not much of a fisherman either, so we never really had a great grounding in it or a great learning in it, so never got off to a slow start and haven't really recovered.
And I suppose if you don't do too much fishing, it might be a hard stretch having a favourite sort of fishing, but...
Sweet.
Well, we'll put that down. Favourite sort of fishing, targeting the elusive sweep.
Yeah. No, it's easier said than done. We can joke about it now, but it's not about that.
And is there a funniest fishing story phrase or one that got away?
I genuinely don't know if there is, to be honest.
Well, you mentioned us out on the boat one day when you did catch that illustrious sweep, and there was a fair few sick people on board. Your facts were incorrect when you said that I was unwell, because I think you and I were about the only two that weren't unwell. But I'd say watching 10 other blokes heave their guts up for 4 hours was a pretty funny day on the water, Fraser. You'd agree?
It was. Quite a few penkies pulled in that day as well.
There was.
Yes, there was.
I also think you might have been on board the boat one day, Fraser, when we pulled in a $50 note floating by. Do you remember that?
Was that the one you stole out of my pocket?
We did net a $50 note out off the Grange Tyre Reef one day, and I thought Fraser might have been there that day, but potentially not.
No. All right, let's. It's good to get your answers there, Fraser, out of our standard 5 questions that we ask every guest, and we thank you very much for those. But let's move on to a couple of other timely and relevant topics that are affecting recreational fishing across the state. Fraser, can you give us your opinion or some insights into what you think about having a rec fishing licence in our great state of South Australia?
Well, as we've just established, I'm not much of a fisherman myself. I don't spend a hell of a lot of time at the boat ramp or on the boat, so I really need to be guided by those that do fish when it comes to this. But it does seem to me in other states where there's clear transparency that the proceeds from a licence are being spent on initiatives to improve fish stocks or to improve the fishing experience, that there are benefits that flow from that for recreational fishermen. And I think without having done a first-hand experience research, that Victoria, where they spend some time with replenishing fish stocks, growing stock on shore, would have some wonderful benefits, particularly in the Gulfs here in South Australia, where there seems to be some serious pressure on the sustainability of fish stocks.
Yes, and you were out on the boat that day. They restocked for the snapper off Drossen there, were you, Fraser?
Yeah, and that's more of a pilot program than anything else. It was a once-off initiative in response to the snapper ban, the unfortunate snapper ban that we've got in place currently in South Australia. So we released, I think, 300,000 fingerlings, 150 in each Gulf, in an attempt to sort of expedite the restocking program and get fish up to size and breeding so that we can get back fishing snapper sooner rather than later. So that was really cool to see that happen, and really pleasing to see more of them swim away than what we thought might be the case. There was not too many of them floating around, and most of them sort of swam away and hopefully got stuck into growing and getting bigger and getting ready to get caught.
Beautiful. And Fraser, is that from you? I know you do some meetings with the locals down at the jetties and the boat ramps to get a bit of a vibe from the community. What do you think the Yorke Peninsula locals think of this rec licence idea?
I've got to be frank, so I've spent best part of 3 days at different boat ramps around the electorate, set up there. For those that did pop by, 9/10 of them were fairly well, I shouldn't say 9/10, 70% of them were fairly well opposed to a licence altogether. The other 30% expressed some scepticism about whether there would be any transparency about where the proceeds were going. So I think if we do push ahead, and if we do, there's no, as far as I know, no plans at this stage, but if we do push ahead, there needs to be some campaign to ensure that there's some confidence amongst the recreational fishermen in this state that their money that they're investing in a licence will actually be spent on improving the fishing experience for them, rather than just going into general revenue and being spent on some other pursuit that might not,
Yeah, I think that's certainly the vibe we've got. A lot of people do think it'll just go into the general pool of money with everyone else's taxes and it won't necessarily see any fishing benefit, but I think that is definitely true from what we've been hearing too, Fraser. That's good that we're all on the same page. Tell us, Fraser, what's the ban on the snapper? You talked about that earlier. What effect has that had on the Yorke Peninsula? I imagine tourism, fishing charters, tackle shops, all of those sort of areas have been hit pretty hard. York's was a region that was famous for its snapper fishing. How have the locals been coping since that's all gone on?
Well, there was some tremendous trepidation when it was announced. A number of communities, as you two gentlemen well know, basically rely not rely on, but have a fair degree of reliance on on fishing tourism around the Yorke Peninsula, and snapper obviously being one of the more prized catches attract quite a number of tourists, both from South Australia and from interstate. So initially a fair degree of trepidation. I've got to say that the COVID pandemic has forced people to come to travel intrastate into South Australia, into regional South Australia I should say, and has mitigated some of that damage. There's a lot of people that because there's nowhere else to go, they've decided to come back to the peninsula or to the peninsula for the first time and go fishing. So I know that the charter boat operators I've been speaking to recently have done a pretty good trade over the last 18 months. I know most of the small regional towns that would ordinarily rely on fishing tourism are doing not too bad as well. So I think the COVID pandemic has actually mitigated some of the damage, but we certainly need to get back fishing snapper as soon as we can.
Yes, and another talking point we've had of recent times, Fraser, I'm sure you're aware, the kingfish being netted over in Port Augusta, around there, which isn't allowed in any other states. How do you think the locals on Yorke Peninsula feel about that? Obviously, if the kingfish are netted up further up the Gulf, they're not able to be caught down by your locals, Fraser. What do you think about that?
I haven't had kingfish brought up too many times with me over the past few months. I know that there's that petition running to try and address that issue, but I obviously haven't had kingfish brought up too many times, so I'll have to take that on notice and get back to you once I've had some interactions with constituents and see what they say.
Thanks, Fraser. And another piece of work that might be bubbling away in the background, or something you might be able to give us some insight to, and important to us given we've now upgraded our boat and we can get down out to the lovely islands of Althorpes off the bottom there off Marion Bay. Is there anything bubbling away in the background with a Marion Bay boat ramp or other facilities, Fraser?
Well, there is. Marion Bay boat ramp is in desperate need of some work to make it a bit of a safer launch destination. There are concerns I've got about sand drift, and if we build any sort of permanent structure or rock groin out there, the damage that will be done to what is a magnificent beach down there at Marion Bay. So there is some work being done in a real preliminary stage about what it might look like if it doesn't have that rock groin there, and I know the council's sort of plugging away at that too. So there is work being done. It's near the top of my list, or at the top of my list in terms of boat ramps in the electorate. Just got some concerns about sand drift and the impact on the beach there, because let's face it, just as many people go for the beach and beautiful scenery down at Marion Bay and Innis as they do to launch their boat.
Yes, no, fair, and it's certainly got to be a trade-off between to keep all parties happy. Tell us, we do like to ask our listeners for some questions when we know we've got a big-name guest like yourself coming on, Fraser. One of our friends of the show, Annie, she asked about the Point Turton boat ramp, saying that one of the launching... one of the, what do we call it? One of the lanes has been closed since Easter, Fraser. Is that true? Do we know why?
I haven't heard lanes being closed. I know there was some dredging work done at the mouth of the boat ramp,
Yeah.
which was held up by some bureaucracy and red tape. It's finally been done at quite an expense. So
Yeah.
hopefully the actual mouth of the boat ramp's clear and ready to go now. I've heard about a lane being closed, but I can chase that up during the week.
Yeah,
Yes,
great,
no
Fraser.
problem.
You can let Annie know what's going on.
Yeah, we'll give you a list of things we need you to follow up after this chat, Fraser. Don't worry about that.
It probably goes to your point though, Fraser, with that preliminary work and understanding of the sand patterns for the Marion Bay, because we do want to understand that before we go around disrupting what has naturally been there, so that it can be enjoyed for years and years to come without sort of ongoing expenses like dredging, etc. Isn't that right?
That's right, absolutely. This one might be that it's a jetty-like structure as a launching facility rather than a protected rock groin area. But then you have questions about whether it's safe to launch a boat from a jetty-like structure with what can be quite significant swell coming in directly onto the Marion Bay launching facility. So,
And are there other boat ramps and other facilities fishing-wise around the electorate that have been worked on, Fraser? Any other projects up and coming?
Because of your persistent complaining, we're getting Black Point upgraded.
Oh, I was hoping you'd bring that one up, Fraser.
So that's I think work potentially has started there already.
Yes.
So that's getting returned to how it was. There's a long list boat ramps that are facing a litany of issues with the sand drift. The clogs of the mouth of the rock groins getting clogged up with sediment and a few different things like that. So there's a number of boat ramps that need work.
So is the
black up there? Ardrossan needs a bit.
Yeah.
All the black sediment that gets stuck at the end of the boat ramp there.
Yeah.
There's a whole host of them. So
is the Black
let's go one
Point
at a time.
Is the Black Point boat ramp going to pretty much go back to what it used to be, or?
Well, I think the plan is to return it to ground level sort of thing. I'm not sure.
So a bit
if it'll
lower.
be exactly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So still have the bay to turn around, but just have lower down
towards the
towards the
drift
water.
over the top of the boat ramp rather than get stuck on the side of it, I think.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And what about, Fraser, in terms of us Adelaide folk getting over to the wonderful York Peninsula, what's the timeline on the roadworks going on at Port Wakefield?
Is it for you too, or everyone else? Because everyone else should come over ASAP. But no, look, the Port Wakefield project's sort of on track. My understanding is to be done about Easter next year. So
beautiful.
hopefully by that long weekend, at least the overpass part will be done at Crash Corner.
Yeah.
And it'll be well on the way to improving traffic flow. So
yeah,
that's my understanding of the timeline. There's obviously some duplication works happening north of the town as well that'll drag on a bit longer than that. But to get to the York Peninsula, hoping Easter next year, it'll be very much close to done.
Yeah, fantastic, Fraser. You've been doing a massive amount of wonderful work for your electorate on upgrading roads, and we've enjoyed some of those upgrades, and we look forward to seeing some more and making those roads safer on the York Peninsula. Fantastic work, mate.
Thanks, mate. There you go. Now I feel better about myself. I'll be able to...
We thought
we'd pump you up a bit.
Yeah. We're getting things done. It's been 3 and a bit years since we got elected. And, I did a bit of a tally the other day, and this, including the Port Wakefield work, which is obviously a fair chunk of it, there's been some $200 million worth of road funding that's committed to roads in the electorate. So it's a fair bit to do, but we're getting stuck into the backlog there, and hopefully we can start to get on top of it in years to come.
Yes, good work, Fraser. Well, we'll keep your number close to us because I'm sure we'll have some more requests of other sort of boat ramps and boating, fishing sort of gear we need fixed over there. So we'll make sure we hit you up with a big shopping list.
No worries. And if I ever catch another fish, I'll let you know.
All right, Fraser, thanks for coming on and talking a little bit about your sweep fishing career and a lot about the facilities and fishing talk on the York Peninsula.
Cheers, lads. See you soon.
Thanks, Fraser.
Dear's bloody good to hear from Fraser, wasn't it?
Oh, it really was, Brody. Exceptional sweep fisherman.
Yeah, I wouldn't say exceptional. I'd say he's a sweep fisherman.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't know because you haven't caught one. But catching one that size is exceptional.
All right, whatever you reckon, mate.
All right, okay. Let's move right on now into the fishing report for the fortnight that's just gone, and let's talk about some notable catches, Brody.
Yeah, what do you got for us, Diz?
Alex Hayes, good friend of the show. We often talk about him. He's a very good fisherman. Loves it.
Yep.
Good rectangular.
Yeah, he
angler.
is.
And he's got into a really good sized mully.
Yeah.
Hasn't
he? Well, didn't he?
Great sized mully.
Didn't quite give us the GPS location.
Out of the yak.
Yeah, yep.
Out of the yak. And you hit him up with a where'd you catch it question. And naturally, he didn't give away his GPS marks. He's not stupid.
He said Metro.
But he did, yes. Like you say, he said Metro. So, we were sort of thinking maybe somewhere in the Onk.
Possibly, yep.
Somewhere in the Onk, something like that. He might just nip down for a little morning session. And
yep.
We have him on Instagram, and he does spend a fair bit of time on the water, and he got into a nice bag of big winter whiting by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Some of those sizes of the heads look big.
Yep, yeah, it did well.
Down off Marion Bay, you'd imagine?
Yeah, I think that's where he does a lot of his fishing, so that'd be a reasonable assumption.
Yes, so no, well done to Alex Hayes, good fishing, and we would appreciate if you tagged us.
All right, cop that.
Thoughts?
Yeah, cop that.
No, anyway. Very recently, another good friend of the show, Lee Van Soest, getting a very nice bag of tings.
Yeah.
Couple of flatties in amongst them.
Yes.
And what were definitely some big stonking big Tommies.
Yeah, did well, didn't
Good sized Tommies. Bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I think I've seen in the past that Lee does a bit of fishing. They nip across from Cape and go do some fishing off KI, American River Way, but I'm not going to sort of assume where she may or may not have been fishing. But
yeah, that's really just putting two and two together there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but they did do very well.
Yes.
I want to talk about another catch this week in the report, Rhodey. I follow the Salt Guide on Facebook, which I'm sure you probably do too.
That's the Victorian mob, isn't it?
They're not in South Australia, that's right, but they get off and they catch some massive, big calamari at this time of year.
Yeah.
Much bigger than what you'd routinely see in our state, off the jetties, etc. Although we are getting some big hoods at this time of year, Rhodey.
Yep.
The winter calamari come to life, but very recently from them, there were a couple of fishermen out chasing some calamari and they saw a big mako chase one up.
Oof.
So what'd they do?
Would they put a mako bait out?
Of course they put a mako
That's
bait
what I'd be
out.
doing.
Of course they put a big squid out on
Did the mako get airborne?
They caught the mako.
Did it get airborne?
I don't know.
I love watching those makos jump.
It was a big two guys carrying a
Where
big
was this,
mako.
did you say?
Somewhere in Victoria.
We're still across the border.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's a notable story.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, so
What about us, Diz? We went out last week.
So yes, let's talk about us. We launched at Port Julia.
Good boat ramp there, actually, wasn't it?
Very good boat ramp. We just went across for the day.
Yeah, little
So
morning
got
job.
up, went early, got over there, got the boat in the water at probably 7:30-ish.
Yes.
Straight to our grounds off Sherlock Flat there.
I haven't fished there for a while, have we?
No, we haven't. But
That used to be our absolute go-to.
It did, and we're trying to, we sort of fish down towards Ardrossan. There's a lot of good whiting ground in there, just sort of, past the jetty there, where we sort of chase them in the wide holes, particularly when they come in a bit closer in winter. But we thought we'd try Sherlock Flat.
Go back to the old days.
Go back to the old days.
Diversify our grounds.
Yes, and a very well-known spot. Lots of boats out there on the day, Rhodey.
There was 6 or 8 boats, reasonably close to us. There's a good amount during the middle of winter.
Yeah, that's right. And once we pulled up to our spot, it was amazing. We went bang, bang.
Who went bang? I reckon I got 5 out of 6, mate.
Oh, you did not.
It's back to normal. I know we did. I think the last time we caught whiting,
Our fish,
I had to admit that
dominated.
Dizzy did catch more fish, maybe by 1.
18 or something.
That's
got
not
2
true.
And we bagged out.
Anyway, back to normal, me catching all the fish. Anyway, we got 6 in about 10 minutes. And I think one of us might have made the call we'll be back in Adelaide by midday.
That would have been you.
And that was it.
That was it. Toiled away for another couple of hours.
Some
Trophy
red mullet.
marks down a...
Undersized whiting.
Oh, gosh.
Couldn't catch anything worth keeping.
It was horrible.
I think you got a couple of silver trevally, which is a real specialty of yours.
Should have. They would have been undersized, but...
You know when you play those, one thing that goes with another, salt goes with pepper, phrase goes with sweep, Dizzy goes with silver trevally.
Yeah, well, I'm also good at sweep, mate. Don't forget I've got the certificate up on the board.
Anyway, Diz, that is our report for the week.
Yeah, no, there was some good notable catches in there, Rhodey, and nice to get out on the water with you, albeit that we didn't get a lot of fish, but enough for a feed. It was good to have some fresh whiting that night.
And it was good to have nice dry feet in the waders.
Yes, good call. All right, well, that brings up a very good point because we're moving on to the tackle segment this part of the show. And last year, we did do an end of financial year review.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the same again this year.
Yes, Diz. Now, what's your purchase of the year?
So we just
Best value for money? What are you going with?
We just want to cast our minds back, and we've spent a fair bit of time in tackle shops over the course of the last year. And my highlight has been the fishing waders.
Yes. Recent highlight.
We've done quite a bit of fishing in extremely cold water, and it's just hard to stay warm once you push the boat out and you get wet up to your jocks, and it's not good. Yes. But this time it was a breeze. It was an absolute pleasure pushing the boat in the water, jumping on, getting in the waders, and it was just fantastic, Rhodey.
Yeah, it was warm, wasn't it?
It was,
and they're not expensive,
warm.
so that is a good value for money.
It is.
End of financial year special.
Yeah, so if you're into fishing and you do a bit of it in cold water at this time of year, then treat yourself, get down, get yourself a pair of waders, and you'll be laughing.
Yes, I'm going to go with the boat.
Oh, bang.
Well, you can't buy a boat and not say it was a pretty good purchase.
Fair call.
We've put good hours on it. We've got really good use out of it. It's expanded our repertoire. We certainly wouldn't have got down to Althorpe's in the old boat.
No, we
We
wouldn't have.
covered a lot more ground off KI,
We did well off all Thorpes.
and it's much more comfortable to go whiting fishing in the middle of winter.
Yes, well, we're not so hamstrung by the weather.
And we probably got out of Victor more often than what we would have.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
it's certainly enhanced our fishing.
Yes.
We've had good use out of it, and
We've got it well set up now.
yeah, and it's probably taken us till now to say everything is set up as we like it.
Yeah.
It is a bit of trial and error when you get a new boat. Where do you put the life jackets? Where do you put this? Where do you put that? But, obviously a boat's an expensive purchase, but I still think we've made good money on that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So that was my highlight at the end of financial year.
Well done, Rody. Well, that's a bit for the listeners to work on there. Maybe if you're on the lower side of the budget, treat yourself to a pair of waders.
Yeah.
If you're interested in a new boat, then away you go.
Yeah, certainly does. Now, that's just about all the time for you.
It is just about wrapping up the episode. I would just like to mention that there is a post going up shortly, if not already live, about getting your orders in for the hoodies.
Yes, and we need them ASAP, Diz.
So don't hesitate.
I think we're going to give it a week. I think we'll put the order in at the end of the week.
Yeah.
So if you do want one, please get in contact as soon as possible. They're great jumpers. Dizzy's wearing one now. I basically haven't taken mine off. I haven't got it on now, but
It's starting to smell a bit.
you got to
You
wash
might
it at
wanna
some
wash
point,
it.
don't you? So
No, it's good.
get in contact if you'd like a jumper. As always, make sure you tag us in all your fishing pictures on the socials.
Yes.
And shout out to all our listeners over in Sydney. Good luck keeping busy.
Yes, absolutely. Enjoy yourself, guys. Good to catch up with you.
See you guys.
Rody and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.